Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. Today, I want to speak to pastors, I want to speak to leaders, I want to speak to people that are running churches and ministries. And I want to speak to you heart to heart today. And I want to speak about what will make your members or your people to be loyal to the church. What makes members to become more loyal, or rather to give total loyalty to your church or your ministry. And this is very important that we speak about this, because on this platform we are restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. And I've had pastors say, but members are not honest, the members are not committed, the members are not actually participating in church. And sometimes we need to check some of the things that we do as leaders as well, in order to make those members to be loyal in the church. And those are the things that I want to speak about today. The first thing is that members they need to be sure that the leader, which is yourself, you're honest. They need to see that the leader is honest. So sometimes people becoming honest, they rely on seeing the leader being honest as well. Now, honesty in everything that you say, and sometimes we are actually saying things and we're not too honest with that. And therefore, you need to be honest. So honesty in a leader rates much higher than many would imagine. So therefore, it is very important that you are an honest person, very transparent, people that can trust you. When people look at you, they can trust you because they know that what you say is exactly what you do. And you are matching your actions and your words, they are matching and they're marrying. And therefore, you can actually be trusted, because whatever you say is quite honest. Now, when people know that you're honest, then honesty comes out of them. You draw honesty out of them when you are honest yourself. And this is very important that we mention that, because there are many people that are actually relying on seeing their pastors being honest, but they don't find that honesty from them. And we want to emphasize that as a pastor and as a leader, you need to be honest. Now, you need to be laying all the cards on the table and communicating your expectations, because sometimes pastors don't say expectations, but they're having their expectations within themselves, but then they blame people when people don't do things that they expect them to do. Because when people don't do what you expect them to do, ask yourself, did I tell them what do I expect? Do I lay the cards on the table? Do they know what I expect? Because if you don't outline your expectations, don't expect them to fulfill those expectations anyway, because they don't even know what you are expecting from them. So this is very important as a pastor, that you ask yourself, did I communicate well? Now, the communication well, we're talking about, it must be audible, number one. Number two, it must be clear. It must be concise as well. It must be actually practical in a way that is doable. Because sometimes we say we have communicated, but yet our expectations are not doable enough. They are not practical enough. Our expectations are things that are not easy to do, but yet we're expecting from people to do. So please lay your cards on the table, communicate, make people know what you expect, so that you can actually judge them based on what you've told them. When a person is given a path to success and is told what is expected of them, even if it is very difficult to do, they appreciate that, because they appreciate the leader who tells them that, because they would actually try their best based on the clarity of the communication, based on them knowing what the leader expects. I mean, it's like a coach. If you are coaching a team and you don't tell people what is your expectation, you don't tell your team members, your players, what you expect, they are going to do actually things that are contrary to what you're expecting, and you're going to blame them. But only to find that you never actually clarify your expectations. So we want to say that it's very important as a leader to clarify expectations when you are a leader, so that people can actually do that. Now, we want to also emphasize that you need to say out your intentions. What do you want to achieve? What is that you want to see? What is that you want to reach? What is the final destination of this particular thing that we're doing? The project that we're doing, or the particular vision that we are running? Well, what is the final destination? Where do you want to see this church arriving at? Or what do you want to see this ministry or this particular project that you do? Where do you want to see it? So all that is actually the clarity that we're speaking about. And it's very important that you outline that, because people would actually fulfill that which they've heard you clearly saying you want to achieve. So the expectations must be outlined very clearly. The other thing is the creation of an atmosphere which shows that people are valued, because there are times when pastors, and I want to say this because there are pastors that actually feel that people are obliged to support them. There are pastors that feel like there's an obligation for people to be part of your church. And I want to say this, that we don't pay people to be members of our churches. We don't give them salaries. The reason why people are committed in their jobs is purely because of the salary. It's not that they like going to church and to work. It's not like they like waking up on a winter morning, cold winter morning. It's not like they like that. They go in there purely because they're earning. Now, in a church, when you see people waking up in the winter mornings and coming to a church to support you, don't take them for granted as a pastor. Don't think that they are obligated to. Don't think that they are actually forced to. They actually make a sacrifice. So therefore, it is very important that we create an atmosphere where people feel they are valued. And how do you do that? Sometimes it's simple appreciation of thank you. When you let the people that you appreciate what they're doing, you are able to say thank you. Now, there are many pastors that would actually run a church, but never say thank you to the people, never appreciate their own members. As I say, they sometimes feel that people are obligated to be here. They're obligated to be part of the church and participate in the church. And that is the reason why you find even some pastors who are screaming and shouting against members as if they're paying them a salary. I mean, this is very important that we emphasize. And as I said, on this platform, we are restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God, and we do it unapologetically. So we are saying this now. We know it might feel like awkward for you to swallow it. It's like a bitter pill for you to swallow it. But please create an environment or an atmosphere that shows that your people are valued. So please value your people. People want to know that their leader values them. People want to know that their leader appreciates them. So for such people, the drive to achieve and their loyalty in the ministry is purely appreciation from the pastor. They want to know that they're being appreciated. So it's not just merely to look at them and say they're supposed to do this and so on. It is purely to come to a point where you say, I must appreciate my people. So very, very important that you do that. So speak and say it. And make sure that you appreciate them and they hear it from your mouth. So it is very, very important that we do that. The other thing is fairness. And fairness is like a dynamic word. It's like a very relative word. But I want to say that people who are committed to a vision must be treated fairly, not uneven-handed, whereby you start to have your own favorites. And we have seen this happening as well in churches where pastors will have their own favorites. And we want to discourage you as a leader, as a pastor, as a visionary, to have your own favorites. So treat people fairly and equally. When you start to treat people fairly and equally, people then become they become very serious, committed members in that church. So please, they will know that even if the leader sometimes makes decisions that affect them, they know that at least you're fair. Even though it's something that may be sounding negative to them, but they know that at least it's coming from the right heart. And I want to emphasize that when we know the heart of the pastor, we would know that even when he says something that may sound offensive, but it's coming from a good heart. And therefore, because they know that you are fair, therefore they cannot take it otherwise. So they will take it that way, that because you are fair, so therefore it is coming from a heart that is fair. So I want to emphasize this, that please, fairness is very key. To make people loyal in your church, they need to see that you're fair. So it's very important. The other thing is you need to set an example. Be an example of your own members. Because if you are not exemplary in your own character, in your own speech, in your own behavior, so you need to basically become a model of example of the church, a model that people can look up to. So as a leader, as a pastor, people should be able to look up to you. So we all possess skills in life. We all possess strengths in life. We all have talents, but beside that, we still have mistakes. We still have some flaws in our lives. So therefore, this is very important that we are saying that set an example so that when when there's a mistake, people will know that this is just a mistake. But they would actually see you as exemplary. Because when the leader is an example, people will be committed to see the vision happen. Now, example sometimes is not only in lifestyle. We're talking about also in commitment in your own vision. Because when people see that the leader is not committed in their own vision, so they will not be committed because they see you not taking it serious. You're not taking your own vision serious. And if you don't take your own vision serious because you are not committed in your own vision, people don't see the example in you. So therefore, they cannot do that which you are not doing yourself. And that's very key. And sometimes while we are here, I want to emphasize also that when you set an example, make sure that also your leaders that you have appointed, they set the same example like you, because you may set an example, but they are not setting a proper example, and that as well will deflate the church, and it will deflate the members, and it will make them feel that they are not supposed to be committed or loyal because the same leadership that you have appointed are not loyal themselves. So this is very, very important. So you need to earn the loyalty of the people. That's what we want to emphasize. This will happen when you understand the value of the people, when you are actually understanding how important are the people that you lead, and try to build them as well, to build the vision. Because when you do that, you start to empower them to empower the vision. You start to put plans in place and delegate them to them. You start to strategize with them and put up processes that they will follow. And when you do that with respect. And as you do that, they will be able to follow and become exemplary themselves. So remember that loyalty will be earned when people see that you are truly an example of what you are challenging them to do and become. And they look up to you. They want to be like you, and they want to do exactly like you as well. I want to end up here. They're always Micornus Phokane. I'm the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum, together with the Church Governance Solutions. And we want to say on Church Governance Solutions, we are restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. And that's the reason why we are here on this platform. So follow us on our Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions, and my personal Facebook page is Micornus Phokane. And please remember to like or follow those pages, click notification buttons. Our YouTube channel is under Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the notification button as well. And our TikTok account, Micornus Phokane, our Instagram account, Micornus Phokane as well. So please follow us on those platforms. Share these platforms with your loved ones that may be actually seeing value in these platforms as well. And may the good Lord bless you. And until we meet again with another topic, allow us to check out right here and say cheers for now.